Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your October 2017 tarot card reading. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising for roughly October 1st through 15th. I already shuffled and drew some cards for you. Let's just dive right in. So I'm going to start by, I drew two animal cards for you, and I'm going to start by reading them from the book, and then I'll give you my intuitive sense about them. But these are cards you just want to keep in mind as an overarching thematic energy as we move through the rest of the spread. And today I'm working with the Celtic Cross. So, all right, let's dive in. There's a lot of energy here for your sign. Okay, we have the hyena, and it's crossing the butterfly reverse. But I feel that this is predominantly, I'll get into it, but let's start by reading. Okay, so the butterfly. Undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Big transition energy here for you. Big transition energy. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon. Committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice, or prayer, done at the same place and time, will do wonders for lifting a butterfly's spirit. When in balance, cheerful, graceful. When out of balance, fragile, frustrated. To bring into balance, daily routine. Okay, and then we have the hyena. Humor, wit, sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and a crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams yet to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships, or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. So there is this strong transition energy right now. Very strong transition energy. And this feels like vulnerability. I feel what the hyena is speaking to is this yearning for vulnerability and to be seen and to be received. And a lot of those walls that kept that feeling of satisfaction from you, you're now allowing to come down. And perhaps a lot of those walls were put up in forms of sarcasm or humor as typical to the hyena card. But more so than anything, I'm just feeling that this transition has initiated this sense of vulnerability and exposure I just heard. So there is also this something about perspective amidst this transition. So there's this effort in keeping a specific kind of perspective and a specific kind of heightened approach throughout this transition. High frequency, high vibrational. So there's just these things are coming up for you in these few weeks here. There's a concern with and a focus on, I just heard quality of life. So let's just keep these in mind, and I'm going to pull this camera down so you can see as I see what I'm looking at here. Okay, so this is the focal point of the reading. This represents you. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Very interesting. Okay, so then crossing here. And this feels like when I was dealing these cards, they both feel like they're sort of crossing, but especially particular this one. So I'm going to turn this one over here, the Ace of Cups. And this is also part of the crown energy, just between the crown of your reading and crossing this focal point here. And then at the root of your reading, the Fool. And this feels like this is the catalyst for this energy here. In the recent future, the recent past, we have the Four of Cups. There's this contemplation. And then in the near future here, we have the Tower reversed. So a shake-up. But I'll keep pulling them all. And then at the crown of your reading, we have Temperance reversed. Crossed directly by this Ace of Cups that's standing between these two. There's this Ace of Cups between you and another almost, it feels as though. So a shared, something emotionally shared, I just heard. Okay, and then here, this also represents your general energy. The Five of Wands. And Sagittarius got this in this exact position. So there may be some connection to Sagittarius present for you right now. And something that you're grappling with, it feels like. But here we go. And then in your environment, we have the Daughter of Cups. And then in your hopes and fears, we have the Mother of Swords reversed. And then in the final outcome, or what's moving us into the latter part of October, wow, we have the Lovers, and we have the Nine of Swords. And Gemini, this is your card, making an appearance in your very own reading. Okay. So there are a couple things that are just hitting me in the face, and that's purification, that's finding a balance, and there's this navigational energy. I just heard against all odds. So let's dive in. The Six of Pentacles reversed. So there's this awareness of this heightened awareness of your resources and where they're going. And I just heard shared resources. So there is this requirement that you work with another. It's both a requirement and a desire. It feels like it's something that it works, there's no way around it. And I heard communion. Communion. And I'm also getting this hiding away. So there's this sense of privacy that's coming with this card. Something that's buried very deep. And it's connected to your self-worth and your dreams, I just heard. But there's this energy here that you're looking, that the Six of Pentacles reverse is looking directly up to this, through this Ace of Cups. And then this Temperance card, this bird, is looking down. So there's this, it feels like all eyes are on this Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is this, there's this newness to this energy. There's this precious emotional wellspring here in this card. Almost like the acorn of a tree, how there's all possibility in this card. And there's just like a lot of eyes on this source here. And a bit of a push and a pull energy there. But also this desire to collaborate, to find a way to make it work. And this, at the base of the spread, the Fool. So it's really, there was this shakeup that we're looking at here. And there's just this new beginning. Really, really, really new. This fresh start. But there is that transitional, uncomfortable energy around this as well. So while it feels like it's something you're embracing and something you know is right, and you've known is right, it's complicated, I heard. So there is this getting your ducks in a row energy with this Four of Pentacles in the recent past. And in the recent past, it looks like as you're contemplating it, it's this both looking to and looking away from your resources. So it's almost as though it feels like you are moving through more of an emotional taking stock and this emotional evaluation of yourself and perhaps others. And now you're looking at, I just heard repercussions, but you're looking at resources. You're looking at fiscal goods. So there is this, in the near future here, we have, in that position, we have the Tower reversed. So there's something that's settling in, something that is taking root. There's something that is, it's this, with this reality shift, now you're getting your sea legs, I heard. And the image I'm getting with this, in relation to the Temperance reversed, is this rocket, when a rocket shoots to the moon and the things start to fall away. So there is sort of this releasing of a lot of what you were carrying, of a lot of heavy responsibility, there's this shedding of skin of some kind. That purification that comes with the Temperance card is absolutely alive and well for you right now. And purification of thoughts as well. There's so much emotion here. There's this emotional potency to what you're experiencing right now. It's this heightened sensitivity. I just heard right and wrong. So there's this questioning and this blurriness about black and white. So what is right, what is wrong? And trying to find your way through that gray area. There feels like it's a gray area right now. But no matter, it feels like you are working through something with another. And in your general position, so this isn't easy. Whatever this is it's, you know, it's requiring a lot of focus. And there's this picking yourself up by your bootstraps, I just heard. But although on the ground it sort of feels kind of heavy and like a challenge, ultimately what this is you are aware that this is a time of great transformation, of great transition, and necessary transition. There's something long term about this, about your taking steps now to ensure, to give yourself the best odds that in the long run, you're in a place that you prefer to be, so that feels better to you. So there's something about looking, even though your focus is very present right now, you're just sort of looking with where you are, there is this awareness of this long-sightedness, this far-sightedness coming up. And with this card, I'm getting that you're sort of having to brush a lot of things off. And I just heard health and healing. It feels like there are some strong parallels with Sagittarius, absolutely, and Scorpio as well. So in your environment, the Daughter of Cups, emotional. And there's this deep desire to trust what you're looking at, to trust yourself. And there's a murkiness of this present moment for you. So it feels like there is that murkiness, there is that gray area that you're sort of experiencing right now. I just heard looking on the bright side. So there is this encouragement to look on the bright side, and you're really trying to. Again, because you know that this flight that you're taking is the right thing for you to do. Health and healing, health and healing. It's the healthy thing to do. And then purpose, longevity, and legacy, I just heard, is coming up strong. and that feels deeply connected to this. So this question of legacy, of how can I create something that will last and will thrive and will fulfill me and will fulfill others. So again, there's this looking on the bright side. So it's that one of those times where you could let it really sort of batter you down, or you could look on the bright side, and I feel like you're opting for the latter. And there's a lot of support for you there. And there's this encouragement from your environment to look on the bright side, like I said. There's also this like one step at a time. So not everything needs to be figured out right now. And what does need to be figured out, it's like you're just taking it one step at a time. So in your hopes and fears, we have the Mother of Swords reversed. So when this card popped out, I could feel this fear of feeling cut off and isolated. Like someone could freeze you out, or this feeling of there's this desperation that creeped up with this card. And that feeling is a hard feeling to have. Comes up when we're facing the unknown and when we're feeling in certain areas disconnected. So there's this calling for acceptance and for surrendering. It's almost as though this is a feeling that I heard comes with the territory. As you're moving through this transition. There also, for some of you, not all of you, but I just heard the rug being pulled out from under me, or this loose cannon. So there is this variable that there's this fear of what's unpredictable. That's what it is. There's this fear of what's unpredictable. And a lot of that is because this is new territory. So it's sort of allowing for that and accepting that and saying that that's okay. This is part of the experience, and it is what it is. And then coming here into, leading us into the latter part of October, we have your card, the Lovers, and then the Nine of Swords. So there's this I just heard something that stings. So there is this feeling that and it feels like it could absolutely be in relationship. There's something that you're just sort of pulling your hair out over a little bit. But that far-sightedness, that vision that you're holding to makes it worthwhile, makes it worth it. And also this feels very fleeting, this energy, very temporary, very temporary. And as the butterfly card says, this transitional energy, it's a time of some discomfort. And you're aware of it. It's just jarring, and it can be a little grating. And also with the Lover's card, I am feeling that there is this partnering up. for many of you that's on your mind. I just heard in your near future. That's causing some excitement, but also it's just different. So that vulnerability, the more you're leaning into this vulnerability, the more this becomes possible for you. And you know that. And it's something you're ushering in. So there is this deep desire for stability, I just heard, and intimacy. And order. Order. And I just heard leveling the playing field. So whatever that might mean to you. And foresight. So there is, as you're looking ahead here, there's this, this is a priority for you, this relationship, this dynamic. But it feels as though it's almost, there's this hastiness of wanting to jump into it, wanting to have that now. But then there's this biding your time. So there is this, allowing things to unfold naturally. And I feel like that second week or so of October into the third week, it's almost like you're feeling that romantic yearning. And it feels tender, but it feels really good. So it's positive. It's a positive sensation that in itself is its own guiding force that's giving you a sense of direction. Okay, this is such a strong transitional time for you, and really potent, very sensitive, and so productive. So I hope that this was helpful. Do check out if this is your sun sign, check out your rising or your moon, because these are such general readings. So you can take what resonates and then piece together for yourself a more holistic reading from your sun, moon, and rising. So check those out, those other videos out, and please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it so much. And have a beautiful, beautiful start to this wonderful new month. And I love you so much. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks.